I show you my stuff with DM Scotty.
Hey crafters, DM Scotty here. Good to have you with me on the craft. Today I want to talk about some tiles that I did for my Ettercap face spider lair. I've had some people ask about the construction of those tiles, and I thought it'd be fun to sit down and just talk about it so you can get an idea of what I did. They're all just the techniques I've done before, but it just the order and what I did, you know, might help people to visualize how I actually put them together. So let's go to the table and I'll talk about how I constructed those. This is one giant tile and it's a bit hard to see, and here's a little miniature for comparison so you can see how giant this is. See, I have an entrance coming up, so basically the players had to climb up this entrance to get up to this level, and you can see I have these bubbling mud pits, and let me give you a little closer look there. You can see the technique that I did on the slime with the bubbles. I watched my slime video and you can see that in action. And I also had spider nests around the edge, so I made these that could go around the edge. Now, I have a video for these to show you how to make these. So if you're interested in these spider nests, these web nests, you can watch that video and see how that was done. So the tile itself, what I did was to make the bubbling mud, to make everything fit together, I cut the shape of the tile initially. So including this part, I cut it all out. And then that was the bottom piece, okay? And so let me turn it over and you can see. See, it's all layered on top of that bottom piece, okay? So I have the bottom piece, and then I traced the bottom piece out so that I could get these pathways in the tile. So I cut these out of the shape from tracing it out. I cut that so there'd be a hole there, and I cut this so there'd be the pools, and then I glued that on top of the other tile, okay? So what I did was I then cut out the edge from what was left from that hole that I did the initial tile. Now I also used some pieces and filled in the edge. I used the second cutout that I did where I cut the trail part out, because it had pieces that were this length, okay? And so I just took that piece and shoved it between the top piece and the two paths. So that made it so that it filled in the entire wall. And this is a fairly thick cardboard, so that helped with the large size of the tile. But okay, I have that one, and that's one of my pieces. And then I'll show you the top piece and how I constructed that. Now this piece was smaller. Here's a size comparison for you. But I wanted to have the feature of the ledges on this tile, because in the encounter I used the phase spider and she could teleport from the different ledges, so that made it an interesting fight. And also the players would have to try to scramble up. Now in the game I said these were the ledges were like 15 feet up. Okay. Now this hole here in the center of the room actually leads down to the mud room, and there was a hole in the center of the room that the players looked up and were able to see that went up, and they had to go up through that hole to get up to this tile. Now I didn't craft that hole, it was all role-playing and imagination. So they went, and if you see if you watch the play vid, you'll see how that worked out. But so this tile, like I said, the consideration was the phase spider. I wanted her to be able to move around, kind of, you know, in an interesting way, and give the player some problems. So that I did these ledges, and these in the game, like I said, these were 15 feet high. Now the hole in the center, I didn't actually cut into the tile. I used the technique where I did the hot glue and then just painted it black. So it looks like a hole, but it's actually not cut out of the center of the tile, which you could still do that, but I didn't do that on this one. Now this one has several layers, and this one is done the way that I did the multi-level tile video. So basically I cut this out, then I cut these pieces from the shape, I traced it and cut these pieces from the shape and then put them on the top of this piece. And then you can see the walls kind of go and then go up again and stop and go up. Well, what I did was I cut the wall and then placed it on the lower tile, and then the higher tile you cut another piece and then place it on that. So that gives a nice continuation of the wall. It's a nice practical solution to that. So there you go. There's the tile, and you can see that I just stacked everything on top of each other because it's essentially just you know, one piece of cardboard with other stuff stacked on top of it. So there we go. There's my spider lair, and a lot of people had asked to see me to talk about it a little bit, and that's how I did the construction. So I'll see you next time on the craft. Hey crafters, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of the DM's Craft. Make sure to subscribe, and I have tons of other videos, as you can see. I am the originator of the 2.5D method of crafting tiles. I also do dirt cheap terrain for the table. If all this intrigues you, make sure you check out all the videos below. Also, join my forum. We have lots of great crafters on there who give advice. I have a link above and below. And last but not least, remember, go forth and craft!